Hey, welcome, Dr. Gary here from the Business Academy. We have Dr. Kent Rookstool actually going to be joining us here in a moment for an interview. And the purpose behind this is actually for those of you who are joining us to actually, also ask questions, as we go on how he scaled his business. I see we have Dr. Karen, and if hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, Jason Moore, Aaron Sparks. Love to have interaction here. We keep these groups small on purpose so that we can do some Q&A. If you put your videos on, that would be fantastic. And also, as we're going through this interview, you can always use the chat box to ask questions, or you can simply unmute your microphone. So let's do a quick microphone check. Dr. Jason, can you unmute and let me know that to make sure that you can hear me and I can hear you? Dr. Jason. How about Aaron Sparks? Can you unmute and let me know that I want to make sure you can hear me and I can hear you?
Yes. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Aaron. Thank you.
Yep.
And we have Dr. Karen. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yes.
Perfect. Perfect. Awesome. I can hear you. Thank you. And Jason,
Hi.
good to see you. Thanks for putting your microphone on. I love that backdrop.
Oh, thank you.
So we're going to get started here shortly. In the meantime, I just real quickly, Dr. Jason, where do you practice?
Huntington, West Virginia.
Nice. It's a nice area.
City about
Oh,
50,000 where Marshall University's at. That's our main nationally known industry anyway.
yeah. Yeah, that's a nice area. Yeah, Dr. Rookstool is actually from a smaller area than what you just described, and you'll hear some of his wins. But yeah, Dr. Karen, where are you located?
Madison, South Dakota.
Nice. What's the temperature like up there these days?
Uh, about 30 degrees.
Yeah, that's so this time of year you can still get really cold, but then also you can get that springtime weather. But it kind of fluctuates. And then Aaron, where do you practice?
I am in Peoria, Illinois, central Illinois, right in between center of the state between St. Louis and Chicago.
Nice. Nice, nice. All right. While we're waiting for Dr. Rick's school, what just so that I can put this in the queue of questions, but what interested you guys when you guys saw this webinar coming together and you saw that we were interviewing Dr. Rookstool, is there anything at top of conscious for the three of you of what you wanted to get out of this webinar? We'll start with Dr. Karen since your microphone's off.
You want to come? Jamie, you want to come?
Dr. Jason, how about you?
Chat.
Hey, yes, I saw the text and did a quick Google search of the chiropractor and looked under his services and saw the what I write down here, the regenerative treatment, platelet-rich plasma treatment, trigger point injections, nerve blocks. I saw that on there, so I assume nurse practitioner in the practice, and my sister is actually becoming a nurse practitioner this summer, so it
Got
might
it.
be an opportunity to learn something.
Oh yeah, that's great. Hang on one second. I'm gonna, there we go. Yeah, what we've been helping offices to like chiropractic offices to actually medically integrate for a long time now, and it's he's been very successful at doing that and adding those services. So, if you got someone who's ready to
Yeah,
get trained up, I think you'll be in a good place to actually add those services if you want to. Yeah.
Yeah, I've kind of changed my practice around lately to be more of a uh, not just strictly chiropractic, incorporate red light, shock wave, dry needling, more rehab, stretching. So I'm trying to expand.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I mean, in today's environment, I mean, if you just look at the stats, this is for everyone on here. Like, if you're insurance based, Medicare, as an example, has decreased reimbursements 3% a year for the last 5 years. That means you're getting paid 15% less than you were 5 years ago. Couple that with inflation, and so if you're not focusing on adding services or service centers or adding cash-based services, you're really going to be behind the eight ball. And so the intention with what the Business Academy does is there's a lot that we do. We are really focused on offices becoming, practitioners becoming owners and CEOs of their company. So you can scale it and be whoever you want to be in the office, whether that is, the founder dreamer. Do you want to be the manager? Do you want to be the technician? It's very difficult to scale your business if you're wearing all three hats per se, which is what happens when you start a business. And so, we focus on staff training. We focus on getting organized and creating standard operating procedures, but we also have different service centers that that we train on that you can add to your business so that you can actually help and serve more people in your community, but also make more income, which each and every one of you deserves. Um, I mean, just based on the fact that, if you look at what's currently going on in our environment, students coming out of chiropractic school are $200,000 to $300,000 in debt. If you go back, you know, 25 years, it was around $80,000 to get your degree. And each and every one of you has been trained up, assuming very well at being a clinician, but very few of us have actually been trained up to be a business. And I always like to tell people, like, listen, we've been a business since the day we were born. It's called your social security number. It's your tax ID. And no one ever tells us how to use that. And so that's what the Business Academy is very well known for, is helping you guys to actually be a business so that you keep more of your hard-earned money and you help and serve more and more people based on what your mission is. So yeah, I'm glad you found us, Jason. And so we're going to start this interview process here, and what we're going to do is I will leave some time at the end for some Q&A for Dr. Kent. Hey, Dr. Kent, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Awesome. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, so I'm so sorry I'm late.
Oh, you're good. We've been having a small conversation with the group here. So, listen, real quickly, if you can maybe just describe, we have some different, we have, Jason on here. We have Aaron Sparks, Dr. Karen, Constantine, and, they're in various parts of the country. And maybe just describe where you're located and what your population around your office is.
Yeah, I'm in Central Oregon, in a small town outside of Bend, and our population, just the other day I checked, was about 40,000 now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I want to preface with that because a lot of times when I hear providers say that we've been training and coaching, by the way, with the Business Academy has been around for, gosh, 25, 30 years. So we've helped thousands of offices. But a lot of times what I hear, Kent, is like, oh, that won't I can't do that in my town. I'm too small, or I'm in a rural area. And here you are in the middle of Oregon, and you're doing very well. And so I appreciate your time and joining us. But Dr. Kent, just take us back real quickly to what did your practice feel like before working with the Business Academy?
yeah. So I was always trying to grow and push things to be better. I don't want to just be stagnant. And with that came, I was really good at growing everything, not just the things I wanted. So all my problems grew, my overhead grew, my stress grew. Um, yeah. And there was times where I was like, I don't know if I can do this. Like maybe I need to sell or something, or go back to a small office when things were like really good and easy. I mean, what that happens sometimes, like obviously I persisted, but
Yeah,
now it's like totally different. Um,
sure.
yeah.
Sure. Let's just stay back in this past, time frame for you. And, I know you said to me before you used to dread Mondays. What was really what was driving that feeling for you that you just couldn't stand, you know,
Oh my
Mondays?
gosh. Yeah. So, I just all this stuff that I didn't know this at the time, but what I've learned from working with Business Academy, it was all the things that I wasn't facing, all the things that I wasn't taking care of, all the things that I was allowing to happen, and not being in charge of, basically. Like that person isn't trained right, or the person that's even worse that isn't a good fit. Um, all those things, they just like pile up, and it
Mhm.
just got to where it wasn't fun anymore. And I was literally just doing it to survive. Like I have to work mentality is what I ended up being in, and I didn't enjoy it.
Not a fun place to be. You
No.
know, you had medically integrated before coming on with us, and you were still stagnant. What do you attribute that to? Because I was telling the group before you popped on that we help offices to medically integrate, but there's other options out there that people can use to medically integrate. But
Yeah.
if you could maybe talk about that a little bit about what was the difference for you.
Yeah, I'm glad you asked me that because I was on the phone with Quentin and I overheard that little part about the person saying his sister, I think. I don't know who it was, but
Yeah, it
their
was
sister.
Dr. Moore. I think his
Okay, awesome.
sister's. Yeah.
Yeah. So I used a company that helped me integrate, and that's when I had those feelings I was just telling you about was after I went through that process.
Mhm.
And it's not that I didn't give it everything. I stuck with them for 2 years and $150,000, actually 2.5 years, and $150,000 and went to all the trainings, did all the things. And really, they were missing the organization underneath because like I was already successful before I started with them, but it made my overhead so high and the profit got smaller. It was crazy. And
Yeah,
that was not fun.
you're not alone there. I experienced that in my practices in the past as well. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that's turned around for you.
Yeah.
What did like back when that was happening to you? Have had conversations with you in the past. I know you've talked to Quentin as well about you had really unpredictable months. What did those months look like when it came to stress, payroll, and stability for you?
Oh man. You build that big machine that you learned from that company. And then instead of taking home a fat check, you put $75,000 into the business. You pay your business 75,000 to show up all week and get your butt kicked.
Hmm.
Uh, that's not fun.
Yeah,
You can only
I
do
hear
that
you.
so many times. Those were the
Yeah,
bad months. I mean,
yeah.
obviously I had good months, but uh, yeah, now again, the Business Academy teaches you like, why do you roller coaster? Why do your stats go up and down? And what do you actually do with your stats? Like most chiropractors or providers I've talked to, they're like, yeah, I saw my stats, but like, what do I do about it? And they pretty much, I was laughing with somebody yesterday on the phone because like in the past, I was in the same boat as this person. The stats pretty much controlled our emotions. It was like, if I'm having a good month, I should look at my stats. It'll make me happy. But if I'm having a bad month, don't look at them because I'll be depressed
Yeah,
because you don't really know how to act based like
yeah.
to really do with those numbers. Um,
Yeah, it totally makes sense. What was it about the Business Academy that finally gave you the structure that you were looking for? I was like, is there one key thing that stands out for you?
oh man. I could talk a weekend on this or more, but you just start at the ground. You start with yourself. You get yourself organized, and then you organize your business, and you make something called an org board, where it's like all the main jobs are on there. Who's in charge of them? If they're not there, who's covering it? If they have a problem, who do they talk to? If they have a problem with somebody else, who do they talk to? Um, like everything
Hmm.
is
Yeah,
on a
it,
visual.
it's a, it's amazing what happens when you put organization in, and to your point, just so that everyone has an idea, an organizing board is basically it's a tool that's used in your office where you have 7 divisions, up to 21 different departments, and um, you put an in charge into those areas, and they have what's called a valuable final product. you're hiring them to do a certain job, right? And you're exchanging a paycheck for it. And you know, you create standard operating procedures throughout your organization. And one of the things that just to kind of give you that guys an idea of what Dr. Kent was talking about. But going to the systems for a second, Kent, what were some of the first systems you implemented that made an immediate difference for you?
Well, teaching, just I'm kind of going back to what you were talking about, but the valuable final product was such a mindset shift for my team. It's like something that I knew inside that I knew we needed, but I didn't know how to explain it.
Hmm.
But being able to teach your team that no matter what the job is, there should be a certain outcome. And that's how you tell if you're actually successful or not. It's not like, oh, a new patient called, I didn't get them scheduled, but I answered all their questions and they were really happy. It's like, well, that's not the end product. We're not looking for happy people that don't schedule. We're looking for happy people that do schedule.
Yeah.
So it's like, how do we go from that to an actual product? Um, those types of conversations became really easy, and the team doesn't take it as me nitpicking them or saying they did a bad job. They're like, oh, this is growth. There's opportunity for me here. I'm going to learn. I'm going to be pushed. I'm going to get better. I'm going to really help people.
Yeah.
So that was
Yeah.
huge.
No. Yeah. I've seen that in your office. When you have, order in, you have actually a better culture, right? And, speaking to that, you mentioned statistics. And so my next question kind of goes right into that. How did putting those systems in place change your ability to predict revenue, right? Because a lot of times offices are very reactive to what's going on.
Mhm.
But when you're managing by statistics, you can predict your future and run your business confidently. So how did that change for you by putting statistics on your employees and yourself and your organization in general?
Yeah, and just I know a lot of people have always talked about statistics, so I just want to touch on this really quick. Is I always had stats, like they were always there, and I always checked like the main ones. But like learning really how to use them and how to give people ownership over them was like all the difference in the world. Like our profit is Xing regularly, like um, and everyone's happier when they're producing and doing a good job and getting bonuses. Like we just created a game for this month, and they're going to, based off of, all the numbers aren't totally official, but they're going to 4x their bonuses this month because my profit's like going to be over 200,000 for the month.
Yeah.
And that's all from them owning their stats. It's
Hmm.
like, and not just that, but my brother just called. He's in town, so I'm gonna take the afternoon off and they're just gonna take care of it and they're gonna send me the reports at the end of the day. And then my brother has his son here. We're gonna go get my daughter from school and we're gonna take the kids out. And it's just like so much freedom because they're just gonna text me pictures of these reports that say exactly what happened, what needs to happen tomorrow, and their products that they produced.
Yeah.
And I'll just be able to sleep easy tonight and have
Yeah.
freedom. Yeah.
Listen, guy, I was talking about this before we jumped on, Kent, the fact that um, in today's environment, I was mentioning like Medicare's cut fees 3% per year for the last 5 years. So there's a 15% decrease in reimbursement. And then when you look at inflation, like if you're staying the same, you're losing. Like if you're not growing year after year, you're losing. And
Hmm.
you've added cash-based services and you're medically integrated and you've really grooved in the system. You put you've done a lot of training with us, you put the systems in, and you just said something that I think if should have perked up everyone's ears that did you say you had a $200,000 profit this month?
Yeah, it'll be higher than that, but I don't know exactly how high yet till the
Yeah.
day's over.
Yeah, I mean, just to put that in context, most chiropractic offices are like a 50 to $60,000 a month practices, and that's not profit. That's actually gross collections. And
Yeah.
so it's anyway, congratulations. That's amazing. Now you know you've trained your team extensively. How has that impacted performance, accountability, and culture in your clinic? Because like for instance, you've had your managers trained, you've had different positions in your office trained through the business academy, and actually, I just saw. I think you're doing communication and closing here right now, where your whole team is getting trained on how to communicate more effectively and also close people, whether it's on their schedule or closing them on care and whatnot. And you guys are just hitting a nail on the head. In fact, I remember talking to you after common closing last month, and you guys had like a record week the week after your entire team sat in on that training. And
Yeah.
so to talk maybe a little bit about how the team training and just having the business academy help you train your staff has impacted your practice.
Well, you can count on people, and they're just not. I don't know. I was just talking to my team about this a couple days ago. Is they're not just employees. They're like my team's the best team. Like they're the best. I know that. I've been to other offices. I know other people. Um, like at least in our area, because obviously I know other TBA offices too. So they have great teams too. But at least in our area, like we are the best at what we do. There's no question. And and you guys do so much of the training for me. Like, oh my gosh. And even when you're training my team and I'm sitting in, I learned so much and things I forgot. And yeah, like I can show up in the mornings. This is literally what happened this morning. I said, all right, guys, we have $55,000 to hit our goal, and we have today to do it. How are we going to do it? And they said, I went around the room and everybody had an idea on what they could do to drive that number. And I just said, that sounds awesome. Let's make it happen. Let's make it go right because it's up to us. It's not up to our patients.
Yeah, it's great.
And that's why I was late. We're like uh, 75% of the way there this morning. So,
Yeah, that's fantastic.
yeah.
Wow, wow. I want to change it up a little bit here because we talk about training, but you've actually used one of the services that the Business Academy offers, and that's called an in-office delivery. And you've had Ethan, who's done over, I think, 200 in-office deliveries over in his career, and he's come out to your office and he's worked with you hands-on. And then, in fact, after our last call or the last in-office delivery with Ethan, you mentioned just a major boost. What specifically did Ethan work with you and your team that changed, that actually, really moved the needle in your practice?
Um, so there's so many things. Just to be totally like transparent and honest, the thing that he changed the most was like right here, right between my ears. It's just my mindset.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, that's what controls all of it, right? I talk to people about their practices and coaching somewhat regularly, and it's always like, did we do our best? Did we actually make things happen, or did we get in our own way? And so learning how to get all that stress off your shoulders so you can actually think and make decisions um, is huge. So Ethan being there, he spends all day with you. And in my case, like we've known each other longer, so he even stays at my house. So we like wake up together, we hang out all day together, we eat dinner together, we work out together, we go to the sauna together, then we go to sleep under the same roof. And so he's able to like really spot things from watching, I don't know, hundreds of doctors, if not thousands, and just point out things in a positive, helpful way and like really give you the motivation to be the person that he knows you can be.
yeah.
Um,
It's exciting for you. I mean, number one, you've laid out some gems already, and I know that in my practices there was a time where I could never get away. Like, I could never take a vacation. Um, if I did, it was a 3-day weekend, right? And then when
yeah.
I was away for 3 or 4 days, I'd be worried about the office. And then when I was in my office, I'd be thinking about having a vacation. So literally, I was never present time. And you just kind of threw out there earlier because it goes right into my next question. I was going to ask you. Um, you recently had your highest month ever. What does that milestone represent for you personally and professionally? And you just mentioned like, gosh, your brother shows up in town. You're taking the rest of the day off. Your team is working on hitting a new target for you, and you're going to spend time with family. And what does that mean for you? Because I know that for me, I missed out on my kids quite a bit growing up because I was always, I was married to my practice, and working on building it, and I didn't have systems in early in my career as well, and so it took away from my family. But what does that mean for you? Just the fact that you can come and go as you please right now, because you take a week off a month right now, don't you? Like a full week off?
Yeah. Yeah. So this month, with it being our highest month by a long ways, I've had 6 days off. Well, we worked 4-day weeks, so a week and a half. And then still like leave early most days. I don't have to be here like for the first hour and a half in the mornings. If I want to take my daughter to school or do like a different workout or something, I can. Um, I don't know everything that you asked me. I'm sorry,
No,
but
you're fine.
a lot of
I was
time off,
just,
tons of
yeah,
freedom.
I was just impressed with the fact that you're taking the rest of the day off.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, you know, because your systems are so in tune right now, and you have people that are trained up in certain positions that can run the office while you're not there. And it's
Mhm.
I was just saying like how does that feel compared to before? It's
Oh
how was it?
yeah,
Yeah,
I could definitely. So in the past, um, I would try and take vacations, and to be honest, I was just stressed out about the office the whole time. Um, I had an old coach. I've had so many coaches and been in so many programs, but I had an old coach that he would say that the secret to relaxing on vacation is the second bottle of wine when you leave your practice. And I outgrew that, right? I wanted to actually be able to relax while I was gone. He had a
yeah,
lot of good things that got me to a certain point. Um, but yeah, now I just know I know what's happening. I'm not like wondering.
yeah,
I set up a system that, with everything you guys taught me, where I just get a text at night with everything going on, and they know what kind of stuff to interrupt me with and what stuff not to. And they just take care of business. And then I come back and uh, I'm excited to go to work.
yeah.
That's a
You,
big
you know, um, at the end of the day, dude, I'm so proud of you. I mean, it's like, um, I know that you've gone through a lot of trials and tribulations. You just didn't wake up one day and boom, you had this kind of practice. And
no.
uh, but what's made it really a pleasure to work with you is that you put in the systems, like it's laid out in front of you. Because the thing is there's times when you work with someone and they're yes people, like yes they're going to do it, but they never implement. And the difference, I think, and why you're winning so much is that you get trained up on something. We make sure you know it. There's a difference between consulting and training. With consulting, a lot of times you're told things, but you're never shown how to. In training, you're shown how to do it, and then we make sure that you know how to do it, but then you're actually implementing it. So I just wanted to give you just a
Yeah.
huge shout out to, like, the fact that you're winning because you're taking personal accountability and responsibility for you and your practice. So well done on that.
Thank you. I do want to say, you're talking lots of times like what has made the biggest difference. And with that training, and once you just know, what happens is you start seeing problems or issues or questions from your team as just puzzle pieces that have a specific right answer and a wrong answer and a place that they fit. And so now decisions happen way faster and all in the same direction.
Hmm.
Uh, that would be like the single biggest thing I would say is like business is black and white now. It's not me guessing or going by my gut. It's
Hmm.
like, oh, there's a right thing and a wrong thing to do, and this is why, and this is what we do. And because of the way you're trained, you know that it's now part of you. And so it just happens. You don't have to like sit down and like figure it all out. You're just like, nope, do this, do that.
Yeah.
So
The funny thing is you mentioned that, and you hit the nail on the head. Like when you're trained in these systems, it's just not for a healthcare business. Like we have clients who have started pickleball franchises. We have clients who have five, six, seven offices. Um, you can really create your own business and do your whatever you want to do with these systems, which is really fantastic.
yeah,
I want to talk about relatability and belief here a little bit, but you're not in a major metro area. You're in a small town outside Bend, Oregon, right? What would you say to providers who think their location limits their growth?
If I was just being direct, I'd say that's right here.
Yeah,
Um, I know people doing more than me in smaller towns too, like way more that work with you guys. I'm sure you could name them off, but
yeah,
there's so much money on the planet that there'll never be a shortage. And there are so many people that need help with their health. I mean, that's probably like 90% of Americans. So
yeah.
there's no shortage.
I agree. All you have to do is look out your window there and look at the cars rolling down the street behind you, and there's
Yeah.
50, $60,000 vehicles. Every the vehicle is a $50,000 vehicle.
Yeah.
There's
That
money
person right there
everywhere.
needs help.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, so yeah, I'm going to open up some Q&A in just a second, but just a couple more questions. And if someone were to, were, uh, if someone is where you were a few years ago, frustrated, inconsistent, and stuck, what would you tell them?
Doesn't have to be that way. Um, and if you've gotten into that position where you do feel like that, it means at one point you were probably doing good and you know that you can do better. Um, and they have everything you need to do it. I actually heard of the Business Academy 10 years before I signed up. And I always laugh about that because I'm like, oh my gosh, like I can't imagine what my life would be like if I had this 10 years earlier. I mean, I'm happy I have the lessons and that's what got me where I am now. But
Yeah.
um, because I even, how you're saying you can apply it to everything. I use it for my health now. I use it for my relationship with my wife and my daughter. Um, all the stuff I learned is just so helpful.
Yeah. Yeah, that's incredible. And actually that's actually the number one thing I hear from people is regardless of if you're 10 years, out in practice before you joined or you're, 5 years or 20 years, I always hear the statement, I wish I would have started sooner. I get that all the time. Especially when we go to some conferences and some state associations and you get students like, hey, when should I start this? And I'm like, now.
Yeah,
Like even
yesterday.
while you're in school, right? Because they don't teach you any of this stuff in school. So, I'm going to just do just a little bit of a closing here on what we have available for everyone on here, and then I see there was Dr. Karen, you had a question. I'll get to you here, but for you guys listening to this, if you want to learn these systems, implement them, and create the kind of growth and freedom you've experienced, you know, you know where do we look at starting? And it's basically it's Elevate Con. It's coming up April 23rd through 25th. It's actually about 4 weeks away from us here. Um, Dr. Kent, I believe you've been to an Elevate Con before. What makes this different, and why would you recommend everyone on here to join us there here in the Tampa, Florida area next month?
Yeah. Um, so a lot of seminars are kind of like rah, which I also like. I love that stuff. But this one you leave better at something. You come home and you're already trained on new information to be better, and your whole team is also. You actually drill, you actually learn about business, you actually learn like what's possible. You learn about other services if you're interested. Um, it's just like so much information packed into 2, 3 days.
Yeah, actually, for those of you who aren't here, if the link in your chat box, there's a link to Elevate Con. You can get the specifics about it if you hit that link. If someone is on the fence right now, what would you say to them about joining or showing up just to check us out at ElevateCon this year?
Well, one, it's like, what do you have to lose? Like, we don't know what we don't know. That's why I didn't sign up 10 years ago. Um, just trust me, like my life is so much different. Like I can't even say it with a straight face because it's honestly it's surreal. I'm like, what the heck is going on? And I find that some people just think that it's going to be too hard or too much work or it won't work for them or that they're not worth it. And it's just like, no, they know how to handle all that. Um, And it's actually in the long run, it's like less work and a lot more fun.
Yeah.
So a less grind, I should say. Like I work all the time, but it's because I want to now. Like
Yeah.
I'm always thinking of something new. Um, it's just totally different.
Yeah.
So
It's funny. I think we were on a text chain with Ethan, you and I, a couple weeks ago, and you'd made the comment like, "Hey, can I go out and get my motorcycle right now?" Well, I think at a $200,000 profit, you can go buy your motorcycle. Well done. That's so
yeah,
fantastic. Hey, so just final on this is ElevateCon is happening April 23rd to 25th, and this is not your typical seminar. Thursday is all about intensive boot camps, developing real skills to increase production and lead with confidence, from case management and closing to associate doctor mastery, executive leadership, and clinical protocol training actually with Karen, who is with my injection training. For those of you who are medically integrated, bring your medical provider. Friday we shift into, and actually, if you have associate doctors, we have associate doctor training on the first day as well. So bring your associate doctor. Friday we shift into high level strategy, hearing from elite operators, scaling blueprints, and walking away with real systems you can implement immediately. And Saturday is about building the team, advanced practice training, leadership development, and aligning your organization for real expansion. So if you're serious about growing your practice, building systems, and creating freedom like Dr. Kent just described, this is where you need to be. And I'm going to open up some questions here. Dr. Kent, I want to let you answer this one. So one of the things that Dr. Karen had asked was transitioning from chiropractic niches and wants to be able to take vacations and not wonder how you're going to pay the next week's overhead. Also smooth out the roller coaster practice. I think we answered that question. He wrote that a while ago. Just putting systems in, right? And
yeah.
what I always tell providers is that if you're not where you want to be, like if your ideal scene is like up here and your actual scene is down here, there's this gap, and usually it's a gap of knowledge. Like there's something you don't know, and that's why you're not where you would like to be. It's usually a lack of knowing. There's some lack of knowingness in certain area of your business, whether it's the ability to get new patients, the ability to convert cash patients onto care. I mean, for instance, Dr. Kent, if you're doing those types of numbers, you're doing higher ticket sales. You're doing 10, 15, $20,000 care plans.
Yeah.
And that's anyone can do that, but you have to be trained. Could you have ever imagined 3 or 4 years ago selling those types of care packages?
Well, I mean, I was trying and getting my butt kicked. I wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's a system, really. It's like the only reason why you weren't converting people back then was because there were certain things you didn't know and how to communicate with the patient, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And now you know, and that can be that for everybody. So, but if you guys have questions, you can hit the chat box, or you can unmute and ask questions if you'd like. And so, Jason, is there any questions you have for Kent or myself regarding what we've gone over?
Oh, we can't hear you.
Oh, Kent, you're muted right now, Jason.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, no specific questions, but I see the link for the seminars, and it was very good information. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. We have Dr. Karen. Was your question answered, or do you have any other questions other than what you had put in the chat box? If you're there, Dr. Karen, or we have Constantine, or we have someone from Canyon Ridge. Any questions? The
No,
other thing. Oh, go ahead, Dr. Karen.
no, you answered everything I needed to know.
All right. One
I
of the
can tell
things
you,
that. Oh, go ahead.
I can tell you on that roller coaster that when I used to hit records, I would think to myself, "Oh, here comes a crash." I just started to expect it and try not to get my hopes up too much. Because that's how it always went. It was like the best ever and then like below average. Um, and yeah, they have the recipe where it doesn't have to be like that. You can just keep the momentum and keep going. And then before you know it, like all of a sudden you're writing down goals that you're like, what? Well, I never thought I'd write that number down. And then all of a sudden you hit it and you're even more surprised. You're like, oh my gosh,
Yeah,
it's amazing.
it's a fun place to be for sure.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to mention to you guys here, we have ElevateCon coming up next month, but between now and then, I would recommend doing what's called a practice analysis with Quentin. What that is basically you go over, what your dream is, like what's your ideal scene, and then you also go over where you're currently at, and we actually dissect your business, and we let you know what things to focus and like what are your next steps for you to get where you want to go. And so that's another thing that you can take advantage of. Teresa, if we have a link to that, that'd be fantastic too. Or for those of you who are on here still, Dr. Karen, Canyon Ridge, Constantine, we've got Elevate Con that you can sign up for, but you can also actually schedule that practice analysis with Quentin. It's absolutely for this group joining today. It's absolutely free. Normally, it's $1,500 for that. It's actually a 2 hour session, two separate sessions. So, is there anything else, Quentin, you'd like to hit up the group right now?
No, I mean, obviously, Kent, as always, well done, and I know that you've got even aspirations for bigger and better things and so forth. Um, and I'm sure if anybody has a question, you don't mind if I share your number with them, that you could talk to them
Oh yeah, of course.
individually, right?
I can put it in
Perfect.
the chat right now if you want.
Perfect. Okay. Um, and then, okay, great. Well, then, Teresa, if you can put Rana into a room with Dr. Constantine, and then I'll go with Dr. Karen, and then we can answer any individual questions there. And then if there's anything else, by all means, you can do that. But go ahead and do that. And then I'm not sure who that is from Canyon Ridge, but if you have anything else, you can jump in there with Dr. Gary.